Hey there, and welcome to episode 2 of Pumpkins for Profit, where you follow along on my journey of taking 1,000 pumpkin seeds and turning that into $10,000 in revenue on our farm. Today, we're going to cover how long it took the pumpkin seeds to germinate and what I'm looking for when I thin the pumpkin seeds. And we're going to cover some of the trials and tribulations I'm already encountering, some of the mistakes I've made, and some of the successes that we're having so far now that we're about 3 weeks in from when I started planting. So let's get to it. So how long did it take for the pumpkin seeds to germinate in this field? And the answer to that question is 6 to 8 days. Between day 6 and day 8 of me planting in these compost mounds, all of the pumpkin seeds had sprouted. Now, there might have been a few outliers where 1 or 2 of the mounds didn't have a seed or didn't have all 3 pop up, but general rule of thumb, it was 6 to 8 days. And I believe it's worth noting that during that time, it was not very warm here. We were experiencing highs in the 50s to low 60s, and at night, we were still getting down into the 40s. And while I don't believe that necessarily delayed the germination, and the reason for that is because I put this compost mounds here, which is nice black rich soil, and you could tell a difference in the temperature of the compost compared to the sandy loamy soil. But what it did affect is how quickly I believe the plant started to grow. And I'm going to show a picture here, or some footage here of day 1, day 5 of the same pile. And then you can look here and see how much it caught up. Now that we're back into the 80s during the day and the nights are staying in the 50s and 60s, the growth is really starting to take off. So once again, between 6 and 8 days is how long it took the pumpkin seeds to germinate. All right, so what am I looking for when it comes to thinning these plants? And just a quick reminder, I did 2 gallons of compost, patted it down, and put 3 seeds in each one. And the reason I put 3 is I want to find out and give myself the best chance at having a plant that is going to grow a marketable, big, voluptuous, juicy, picture-perfect looking jack-o'-lantern that we can sell for a premium at our roadside stand. Planting 3 seeds gives us the best shot at having a great chance at success. So what I'm looking for is 2 to 3 true leaves established on the plant. I'm looking for a nice thick stem. I'm looking for no yellowing of the leaves and overall no other issues. And that is what I'm going to use today when I go through this field and actually thin each mound down to 1 plant. And I think it's worth noting that I'm going to use a nice, clean, sharp pair of scissors that I have sanitized because I don't want to disrupt the roots of the plant that I'm going to leave behind by pulling out the other 2 that are in the mound. Cutting that down will help reduce the risk of stressing the plant that's going to stay behind. Before we move on, let's get a little business out of the way if we could. If you like anything and all thing farming, hit that subscribe button below and follow along on our journey and see how we do growing these pumpkins, but also revitalizing a family farm. Not that long ago, this farm, which I am the 4th generation to run, was almost turned into a subdivision. Thankfully, my wife and I were able to step in, purchase a farm, and prevent it from becoming another family farm in the country that gets turned into a subdivision. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get back to talking about pumpkins. So what has gone well? First off, I'd say the germination went extremely well. Out of 100 mounds, I'd say 95 of them had all 3 seeds prop up. So thank you, Johnny Selected Seeds, for the great germination rate because that helps keep this more profitable. I didn't have to keep replanting and replanting seeds. Also, for the most part, I would say all the plants look healthy. There are a few, such as this one, that have some bug marks on it and some slight yellowing. We're gonna go completely organic on this, and I feel like I'm gonna learn some quick lessons here on how I need to adapt to different bugs, but for right now, I'd say everything's going well on that part. Let's talk about what has not gone well. It has not rained. It is bone dry out here. We've maybe gotten 2/10 of an inch of rain since I planted these seeds, and to be honest, I'm completely shocked that the germination rate is as high as it was considering we've gotten no rain, and how healthy these plants look considering we've got no rain. So when I'm finished filming this video, I'm actually going to set up my overhead irrigation because we don't have rain in the forecast for another 2 weeks. And even though overhead irrigating pumpkins is not advised, I'm going to take a chance out of it because I don't know how much longer these things can survive with the stress. Because I'm an ultra positive guy, I want to talk about one more positive that we're experiencing so far, and that is the lack of deer eating these tender plants. And the reason behind that is this deer and raccoon and coyote repellent that I purchased off Amazon and could not be more happier with. I promise they're not plugging me, they're not sponsoring me. Link below in the description. It does give us a small commission if you purchase it, but it has worked phenomenally. This thing lights up when something walks past it. It puts off an annoying tone. It flashes its lights, and it's solar powered, so I don't have to recharge it. It has worked phenomenal. You think about it here, we have 0.88 acres of pumpkins here. The middle of this field has been a deer path for generations of deer. And guess what? Since we put these things out, they completely avoid it. That is another positive, and I cannot recommend it enough from what we've seen so far. And we're not putting deer repellent down, and we're not putting up a fence that is an eyesore. So overall, I feel like we're on trajectory to have an amazing year growing pumpkins for the first time, and that we're going to hit our $10,000 goal. Couldn't be happier enough, apart from the lack of rain, with how everything's going. Once again, if you've grown pumpkins in the past, put some comments below of what helped, what worked for you, how you fertilized, how you watered, etc. Like, I genuinely want to know, and I want to help people along the way, and they can watch me on this journey and learn from the mistakes that I'm probably already making that I haven't noticed, or the mistakes I'm going to find out in the future, but also see the success of it and inspire, because we got to keep the family farm going in America. We can't afford to lose very many more of them. So until the next one, please give a like, a share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side.